Hello and welcome back to another episode of How To with me, Jurassics. Hope you're well, hope you're doing good. This is going to be a slightly different episode of How To. We are actually here in my survival world. Most recently I built ilmango's tree farm, which I will put a card in the top corner to go check out. And I need plenty of bones. Unfortunately, I was hearing some noises and there was something going on down here, so I came to check it out, and we have a skeleton spawner. So we are in a great position to feed bones to our tree farm, but also it gives us an opportunity to build a skelly spawner in survival. So that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you'll stick around for the episode and check out how we do this spawner. It's one of the best designs that I've seen and come across, so really excited to show you guys about it. So let's get on with the episode. So the first thing we need to do is let's get rid of these chests. Let's get them out of the way. So we need to make this room 9 by 9 on each axis, and I'm going to go for 3 above the spawner, so this ceiling is at the right height. So we'll dig out 2 there, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks there, 1 more that way, 1 more that way. So we'll make that room. I'm going to also make this spawner toggleable, so I want to be able to come down and if I need a little bit of XP, use that, or I've got my looting sword so I can get a few extra bones, etc. Or if I just want to have it as AFK, we can do that. And I've got a cool redstone design that I want to implement for this one, but let's get on with it. Let's start taking down these walls, and then we can come back once we've done that part. So I've now dug the room out and coated it in stone bricks. So just going to put some blocks above the spawner there, just to stop them spawning on top. There are tutorials out there which will create a water stream to knock off the zombies or skeletons. I'm just not going to put that in. If you want, go and check out ilmango's design. He will show you how that's done. Once you've got that, you've got to decide which way you want your mobs to go. So my tree farm is over this way, so I'm going to get them to come along over here. So what I want to do is now dig down 4 in this main area, and once I've dug down 4 in this side here, this is where we're going to put the trench to push the zombies out, the skeletons out this way. We'll dig down 1 more block, and then we'll also dig out a little corridor 3 deep, and that's where we'll put the water stream for our zombies to be taken away. We have now cladded out this spawn room with stone bricks, just the way I like it. I've put 3 on top of the spawner just to stop any skeletons from spawning on top of there, or zombies if this was a zombie spawner. And then below it we've got 3, so it's 7 high, 9 by 9 on each axis. And then what we'll do is we'll put water all along here. That will run 8 blocks, so it will get just to the lip, and then we'll put another water source there, and that will run all the way down here. Now this is a bit tricky, so we will pop over to my creative world to show you a cutout of this and how it works. So I just wanted to pop over to one of my creative worlds. So show you how we're going to do this so you've got a better visual of it, and you can even take a screenshot like so. So what we'll have is the spawner over here with the water stream coming into this little corridor. Obviously this glass will just be stone brick or something like that, but the main part is this bit here. So we'll have the water drop down one again onto the block, which is then next to a fence post, and then the soul sand will be placed on the block up and one over from the fence post. And then that just allows, because it's a slightly smaller block and the fence is a slightly higher block, it pushes the mob up a little bit. And what you'll see is that they will jump up quite quickly into this area. So we'll have 5 signs going up, and then there'll be a stairs up here, and then we'll also have this little indentation where the number 5 sign is, or the 5th sign up, and that just pulls the mob over even more, and then they'll shoot up. And I've tested it a few times. It seems to work really well. So let's just grab a skeleton egg and I can show you how this works. I think we might actually have to just jump into easy. Yep, so if we go in here, we'll drop a load in here, and then we can just pop round and watch them fly up the elevator. So you'll see they don't really even go down at all. They sort of hit the top of the fence post, get sucked up, and then pulled over and dealt with. This will be a proper dropper, but on this occasion I'm just getting rid of them up there. So that's how we're going to do our design in our little corridor, and then we'll send them up. This is a water street or full water column, so the soul sand takes it up. And there's a little trick: if you put a soil block there, put a kelp on it, put water at the top, and then grow the kelp all the way up to wherever you want to go, that water will turn into a full water block, and then you can take away the kelp at the bottom and replace the dirt with soul sand. So that's what we're going to do. So you now know how the mob transport system is going to work. So I've built in this area. This is all literally just needs water adding to it. We do need to do our kelp up there, but I was just going to show you this bit. So I wanted to be able to visually see the spawner, so I've decided I'm going to put the block where I want them to fall onto. So this is where their feet will be, and it's in line with the kelp or the water elevator will be. So it's going to come up over there, all the way over and onto this block. So this is at level 40, so we need to go 62 blocks up, or to level 62 up there, and then we can dig across and drop down onto this. So I'm going to go and get that done, and then we'll be back very shortly. So we are now at the top. We're going to dig across until we find the right location. So just going to go across here. So we've got our platform there. We need to go over, I believe, to -294. So that should be here. Yep, 294. So this is the area that the skeletons are going to come up to. So if we dig straight down here, we should find the kelp block right below us. Fingers crossed. Let's see if maths has worked in my favor. There we go, perfect. So we now have a perfect up and over space that we need to bring the skeletons in. So I'm going to clad everything in stone brick again, because I like to. And then we will put the water column in, everything else in, and we'll be almost ready to work on the AFK looting mechanism. So we've now got everything encased in stone bricks. We've got scaffolding up from where we want to drop our skeletons. So we're going to put a sign right there, or there, or there. It doesn't matter, but not here. And as the water comes up, it will spill over to here. And then when it gets to this point, it will stop because the sign's there, but the skeletons will keep going and drop down. So that basically does this. I've kept it 3 high, just allows them to like jiggle around. They're not going to get stuck or be squashed by the water. So we just need to drop in our water here. It's going to do 2 things. It's going to go 1 down all the way to our kelp, but the other way it's going to go over here. So this will literally finish this part off, so we don't need to worry about anything more up here for this build. We'll just pop down here, that's where we'll fall, or where the skeletons will fall, and then this is where we need to grow the kelp. So if we just do this as we're coming up here, don't need to worry, we've got water breathing, so we'll be more than okay. So we're just turning the blocks into solid water blocks. So we'll go up as far as we can, and then we'll just come all the way back down. So all of these, where this kelp has grown into solid water blocks. We'll probably lose some in that, but what we can do now is just swap this over for a soul sand. And now, no, somewhere's not turned to water. Oh yep, there we go. It is working. It is working. There we go. We're good. So now we have our soul sand working. It's definitely working now. So we can block this up, and we'll just use a different access point. So we now have all of our sort of transport system is in place. All we need to do now, 1 bucket of water there, water all along there. It's going to push our skeletons or zombies along into the trough, down here, down again, and then push them up into our water stream. So let's just double check. Yep. That is definitely working, So just drop that down. We've got feather falling, so we're fine. So the next step is to build our AFK or toggleable AFK place here. So what we're going to use is we're going to have a stone brick and a magma block, and they will get shifted left and right as we require it. So I'll just pop and double check everything, check my design, and then we'll put this in on camera. We are down here below where the mechanism is for the shifting blocks, and what we're going to do is just put in a small RS NOR latch. So I'll just show you this bit, and then it will be up to you to decide where you connect it to each of the inputs. But it's quite a simple design. So put 2 stone bricks next to each other, but a block apart essentially. Very difficult to describe that. Then you want a repeater going into each block. And then behind the repeater we have a redstone torch, and then for connect it up, this is already connected, this will work, but over here we're just going to put a redstone dust there and then a repeater, just so we skip the redstone torch, that does have an impact. You could bring the redstone line out and around if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do it a quick way with the repeater. And then if we get our stone buttons just to test the system, right, okay, that one, there we go, moves over. This one, it goes to the other block. So I think looking at this and how we're going to wire it up, so I think up here or somewhere over here we'll have this linked to this one, so we'll need to swap these two over, and then this will come over to a stone pressure plate over here, which will then allow it, every time I leave the room, it will kick the block into the magma position or magma block position, so that if there are any skeletons left in the contraption or in the spawner, they will die, or if we're sort of knocking around down here, they will automatically die. So it's just a way to keep things moving consistently. So I'm going to fill all this in now, and then we'll be right back. This is the RS NOR latch that we're using. It's quite a simple, or very simple design, very compact, but it has a very good working process. So the buttons on top aren't necessary, they're just the input. So just to switch it over each way, you just put an input into the stone bricks or whatever block you choose to use, and that will allow it to change, so it will flip flop from side to side. So how we're implementing it is we have got RS NOR latch here, and these are inputs into our AFK system. So if we flick them like that, you'll see it works. So all we've done with the buttons and the pressure plate is just put in some additional wiring just to go into those blocks. So if we put this here, put that there, these are representing the door and other switch, and this is our looting switch. So if we click that, see, it just works. So that's all it is. It's very simple. So if you take away all this jargon, this is the logic gate that is actually doing the work, and then these redstone bits coming out are the outputs, and the repeater lines going in are the input lines to switch that. Hopefully that makes it a little clearer, especially having it in the creative world. So we'll go back to finishing off the design. Okay, so we now have the complete redstone system in. So this will set it to looting kill zone, and then we have our RS NOR latch is this bit here going into both of our pistons. We also have this one up here, so that will change it to an AFK. So if we're in here and we're just sort of hacking away at them and we're like, you know what, we need to go AFK, just flick that, job done. Or if we're leaving, we just run out the door, which will be here, and then that swaps it over. So it's a really good system just to sort of make sure that you've got no build up of skeletons or zombies. Down here I had to squeeze it in, so this is the back of the water chamber, so I had to do a repeater going into the block and one coming out, but that nevertheless works. So we have got this now redstoned up and operational. So I'm going to fill in all this, and then we can get the spawner up and running and see what the rates are like. So we are all set to go and get this spawner kicking. So all of our skeletons should drop right here. So we've got it on the AFK mode at the moment. So let's get the water in and we can see how this works. Drop one down into our trough as well, and then we can just use the water source blocks that get created like so. There we go. And then we just need to knock out all of these torches, and then there we go, already seen a couple spawn. We need to start getting out. There we go. And we should start seeing them fall down here now. So there we go, that is the skeleton spawner all operational. We're getting in a good rate of spawns in our little room. Just got to be careful out here with the light level. I'll put some torches up whilst I'm decorating so that we don't have any skeletons spawning. But otherwise this is working well. We are getting a few sort of dropping and dying, but otherwise we're doing really well. And then if we decide to leave, it'll just swap over. There we go, and we know they'll just perfect timing. Yeah, just constantly die if we're in this area. We won't have any problems with them. And that is it for this episode of How To with me, Jurassics. I hope you learned how to put in a toggleable AFK spawner. And this was built in survival, so hopefully it made sense, and the couple of trips to the creative world helped visualize it as well. But that's it. Enjoy, make use of it, and I'll see you next time on Jurassic's World.